I'm Ashley Carr, and here's what's happening in Hollywood. A Japanese pop star shaved her head, and now she's apologizing to fans. But some fans are saying there's no need for apology.
The new meth making produces what many are calling shake and bake meth, where several ingredients are combined in a 2-liter soda bottle. The slightest error can cause an explosion, resulting in disfigurement, blindness, and even death.
It's reopened now. There's still about 3 to 4 inches of water on the ground.
Tonight is a night for the stars as the 55th annual Grammy Awards take place at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And as KOMUH Ashley Carr shows us, one Columbia native might be sharing that spotlight.
This is Lindsay Lang. While she may be conducting this Kansas City choir, Lang's love of music didn't start in Kansas City.
My real connection to music began when I was at Hickman High School, and my choir director got me really into the Kansas City chorale.
Matt Phelps directs the Hickman choir now, but he was a mentor to Lang when he was a senior at Hickman and she was just a freshman.
She was a budding singer and she was the most excited student in the class.
Lang dreamt of joining the Kansas City chorale throughout high school, and that dream followed her after she graduated. But she didn't go far. Lang ended up getting her undergraduate and her graduate degree at the University of Missouri.
She's a great student. I mean, extremely bright. She has tremendous talent. You know, sometimes people don't recognize when it's in their own backyard.
But the Kansas City chorale did recognize her talent.
Being in the chorale after being a fan for so long is really exciting.
Now, Lang has something else to be excited about. She, along with the Kansas City Chorale, are nominated for a Grammy and Best Vocal Performance. Lang's husband is in the choir and will also be attending the Grammys.
It was very out of the blue, it seemed. I don't think anyone had realized that that would happen.
Lang doesn't really know how to prepare for the Grammys, but does know one thing. She doesn't want to end up on the worst dress list.
I'm just gonna wear a black dress.
Most fashion experts would agree you could never go wrong with that. Ashley Carr, KOMU8 News, Prairie Village, Kansas. He's best known for his role as a cop on CSI New York, but that doesn't mean Carmine Giovinazzo is above the law. Police arrested him for a DUI in Scottsdale, Arizona. They say the 39-year-old was polite and cooperative during the investigation. The Missouri Healthcare Association is holding a meeting at St. Joseph this morning to discuss the importance of care transitions for older patients. The association says there are many problems that can arise when a patient is making a move between a hospital and a nursing home. Some of the problems, like medication errors and repeated care services, can lead to rehospitalization.
Jefferson City's police department told us today they aren't sure how much heroin use there is in the area.
However, they do know there has been an increase in heroin overdoses. KOMU8's Ashley Carr shows us how the community is dealing with the issue.
It's what I've referred to as an invisible menace.
He's talking about heroin. Some people say heroin use is on the rise, but that's hard to prove.
It's like any drug trend. Things change over time, and it might be marijuana a couple of years, it might be cocaine, it might be crack. This time it's heroin, and this time, unfortunately, it's resulted in a lot of overdoses.
So far this year, there have been 13 overdoses in Jefferson City. None has resulted in deaths, but that hasn't been the case in the past few years. In 2007, there were 69 heroin deaths. That number increased to 167 in 2009. In 2010, there were 190. The 2011 death toll more than tripled that of 2007, coming in at 244. Cody Marshall was one of those deaths last year. Marshall was an avid skateboarder, someone his dad called a good kid.
My son's not here any longer, but this is my son's project in spirit with me, so we're doing this as a team, and it allows me to keep his name alive for a good cause.
The cause is the Heroin a Dead End project put on by the police department and the Jefferson City schools.
What is the impact of it on the physiological system? You know, the various dangers involved.
Marshall hopes his son's story will help save lives. Ashley Carr, KOMU8 News, Jefferson City.
Now, JCPD also created the HOPE program, which educates community members.
Britain's Sky News has admitted it hacked emails on 2 occasions, but said it was acting in the public interest. And country music's Willie Nelson took a stroll down the red carpet Sunday, but it wasn't for music. Nelson attended the premiere of the film When Angels Sing at the South by Southwest Movie Festival in Austin, Texas. The 79-year-old is part of the star-studded cast in which the film celebrates Austin's music scene.
KOMU8's Ashley Carr tells us what child support payments have to do with the great outdoors.
Even though the rain may have stopped some people from fishing and hunting today, others couldn't participate if they wanted to. That's because the Missouri Department of Conservation revoked nearly 300 hunting and fishing licenses. The reason? Failure to pay child support for 3 months, or if a person is $2,500 behind, whichever comes first. Bruce Schock, a fisherman, has a family member who is not receiving her deserved child support. He says this is the first he has heard of the state taking away licenses and isn't so sure it works.
They're going to go home and want to, maybe I should start taking care of my child so I can go fishing. Probably not, but it is a step in probably in the right direction.
State started this punishment a while ago and says hunters and fishermen can get their licenses back.
Kind of an on and off type thing. We have a lot of individuals who we will revoke their privileges. Then we will receive an order that they've come into compliance, so we go ahead and we reinstate their privileges. Next year we'll get another order that they're not in compliance again.
Adam Wolf owns a fishing store and thinks taking licenses away will encourage people to pay their child support.
Just because I think that a lot of people are devoted to hunting and fishing, and I mean, it would kind of be a bummer not to be able to go.
The Conservation Department says it does see an increase in child support payments after it revokes the license. Ashley Carr, KOMU 8 News, Jefferson City.
And Rihanna's fashion collaboration with River Island premiered at London Fashion Week to mixed reviews. Some critics called it a creative and influential debut, but others thought differently, calling her designs hideous and borderline trashy. Her line hits River Island stores on March 5th.
In Mexico has emitted smoke and ash into the atmosphere. The volcano known as El Popo called the country's Disaster Prevention Center to raise the alert level to the 3rd highest warning.
The new apartment complex will house 10 teens like Philip Leak, who was homeless.
I was kicked out of my parents' house, and the day after my 17th birthday.
With just a jacket and a pair of jeans, Leak was
tired, hungry, cold.
After Leak's parents kicked him out right before the big snow last year, he slept under the stairs of Hickman High School for 2 weeks. When a secretary from the school saw him sleeping there, she took him home where he stayed for 5 months.
During that 5 months, the school and Mrs. Ross, the secretary there, got together and went to Soul House and persuaded them to give me a chance.
Leap has been living at Soul House, transitional housing like the new complex being built, since February. He says although living has gotten easier, he faces new problems.
Once people know you're homeless, it's bad. So I just wanted to point out that we are no different than any other kids our age.
Leap is graduating a semester early from high school and plans to attend Columbia College in the summer of 2012. Ashley Carr, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.